Hello.
How's it going?
I'm alright. Getting bullied by TurboTax.
Well, if it wouldn't, as long as it couldn't be me, I'm glad someone else was able to bully you today.
Oh! But you know who else is getting bullied? Rightfully so, though.
Who's that?
Tara Strong.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you might not know her by name, but you'd know her voice when you heard it. She's like the voice of Timmy Turner and a bunch of other, like, beloved childhood characters.
I'll be honest, I was pretty shocked the first time I found out Timmy Turner was voiced by a female.
I know, right? That's how I felt when I found out Naruto was voiced by a girl.
I was just gonna say, not uncommon, as it turns out.
Some ladies, they sound like 10-year-old boys.
That's right, that's right. So why is she getting bullied?
She made a tweet talking about what's going on in Gaza, and she basically ended it with like a Islamophobic conspiracy theory. Those guys, and people were like, "Hi, that was kind of weird." Rightfully, yeah. And then this indie production cartoon that's in the works that's called Boxtown, who she did a voice on. We're like, yeah, we're cutting her ties. We would not like to work with her anymore, and we don't agree with what she said.
Oh.
And then she turned it back around and accused them all, the whole team, of being anti-Semitic, and that's why they fired her, quote unquote, fired her because the indie show, whatever. It's only one episode. The one episode has already been funded, and she's already been paid, and there was no further work ever promised or even known.
Yeah.
But of course, now her fans and then the people just kind of hopping on the bandwagon because they're racist. Oh, they went wild.
Yeah, I imagine for her, like in defense of her, or
in defense of her.
Yeah, hey, maybe just don't be a piece of shit.
I know, right? You should be hired and fired based on your work quality, not whether or not you're a piece of shit. You guys are awful and stupid. People are not required to work with you.
Yeah,
it's like that's not your right. People have to like you.
Yeah, you get hired, and that's literally the whole point of like a resume and an interview.
Right?
Is to find out, like, if you're, among other things, if you're a piece of shit.
Exactly. Like, most people are capable of doing most jobs. It just comes down to you, who you are as a person.
That's right. That's right. Maybe have some sort of, like, small amount of respect for, like, the difficulties and atrocities that's happening in, over there right now.
Right. Maybe don't suggest that the Muslim community is out to take over the world.
The nerve.
I know.
Listen. If they wanted to, they had their chance already, though. So we're fine. We don't have to worry about that.
We're good.
That's not the point.
But yeah,
interesting.
Now she's canceled.
Good. Deserved it, sounds like.
Truly. Don't be
it
was a tweet, too. She could have just kept it to herself.
I know. We've said this before. Most people, just because you have the ability to post shit online and type, doesn't mean you need to.
Exactly.
We're the exception.
Hold it back. And she ultimately deleted it, so she knew she shouldn't have posted it in the first place.
That's right. She knows what she did. Now she's trying to, backpedal on it. Yeah. As everyone does.
As if she didn't say something really weird.
Really sus.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 94 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo, woo, woo!
Woo! My name is Luke. I'm one of your hosts, as always, and with me, your other host, Wolf.
That's I.
I like that you started to, do facial poses as if they can see you.
I know. Well, you can see me. It's for you.
Thanks. They look great. Modeling career is going to be great.
They call me Madonna the second.
They do that. I have heard that. Last week, what did we talk about, Wolf?
We talked about Assassin's Creed Mirage.
That's right. I'm still playing it. It's still good.
Wow. Still more content.
Yeah. I've only so there's I mentioned this briefly about how there's different assassin levels. I've only reached what is effectively Assassin Rank 2. And I've put in 16 hours into the game.
People are booming through this game, apparently.
You can blaze right through it, but I've done a lot of side quests.
I see. You're savoring it, as one should.
I'm enjoying it. That's right. This week, I'm not talking about Baghdad or Assassin's Creed or anything like that.
No.
We are talking about a hit anime from 2022 that finally got released to the West and the rest of the world.
And we finally got to it.
Yeah, and on top of that, we finally got to it. Summertime rendering.
Yeah, woo woo.
We finally, both of us this time, were able to watch all of it.
And I am able to confirm the anime community did indeed like it.
Oh, good. That was actually one of my next questions. Why don't we roll right into this with Wolf? Tell us a little bit about what summertime rendering is for those that didn't watch 2 weeks ago when we did the anime OP.
We warned you guys.
That's right.
If you didn't heed our warning, Summertime Rendering is an anime about our main character Shinpei, who looks hilariously generic for what this show ended up being.
He does. He's pretty basic looking.
About him, he's returned back to his hometown island. He's from like an island that's like off the coast of Japan. After he ran away to Tokyo to do things, big things.
Culinary school.
Culinary school. I never saw that.
Yeah. Culinary school.
That's funny. I took it as him running away so he wouldn't get brother zoned by the love of his life.
That's could be. But his excuse at least was culinary school.
I see. But yes, he has shown up just in time for the big festival they hold every year, but this time the festival goes off a little wonky. It turns out the local legend of shadows are true, and shadows are basically like how our doppelgangers. You see your doppelganger, it means you're about to die, and it's going to take your place.
Yeah, they say you'll die within the next 3 days.
Yeah.
And their whole thing is they want to consume everyone and just replace everything with shadows.
Yeah. And Shinpei, of course, he's not about that. Oh, and also his childhood love interest is dead.
That's right. That's why
he comes back for the funeral.
Well, it's like, yeah, for the funeral that's happening the day before the festival, which we also find out her birthday is right after the festival. So it's really awkward.
Indeed it is.
It's pretty funny.
It's sort of like having a birthday right next to Christmas.
Yeah, I have a family member like that. Always feel bad for him. Literally on the 24th.
That is a shame.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, I think one of the first things we should talk about is expectations going in.
Yes. If you tuned in 2 weeks ago, you know I did an analysis based on the Summertime Rendering opening.
Right. So, do you want to talk about that?
I cannot believe how right I was.
You were so right, it was scary.
I am thrown off by how right I was.
You were, like I said 80%, which was probably a little bit low. It was probably closer to 90, but I was like, I didn't want to hype you up too much.
Yeah.
It was like, it definitely like 85% right at least.
Yeah, me looking at the stupid shuriken symbol and going, yeah, that's probably like the bully. And then it turns out that's Shide. I'm like, oh my god, what?
Yep.
He was the
bully. Yeah. And how there's like two young girls with the sisters and like one of them and everything. And like one becomes a doppelganger, which is
one
a shadow.
got replaced.
One got replaced. And how there's a character, like a evil character with an H in the name, probably.
Yeah,
all these
overseeing
things,
us all.
Yeah. Yeah, overseeing everything from the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I was going to say from the shadows, but that doesn't really fit here.
He's just out in the open, chilling. They just never make it to him.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. The lead girl definitely drowned. I'm looking at my notes right now.
Oh, yeah. Lead girl definitely drowned, for sure. Drowned and strangled.
I was wrong about the red writing. That was actually him charting out like the different timelines.
Yeah.
And the 3x3 grid were the 9 loops. Mm-hmm. Since I guess technically the 10th one wasn't a loop because they didn't loop again.
Right, the 10th one was the dub.
Yeah, they finally got it.
Yeah. Scarily right. I was so surprised while sitting here. I was at the time trying to not like react too much, which is why my audio is like me saying the same like 3 words over and over again.
Yeah.
I was just like, I am dumbfounded how much like that simple OP Wolf found out about. And
then I get into the show and I'm watching stuff, crafting theories. They're all wrong. Way off.
You had a lot of ones that were, while you were texting me during the show, were pretty off.
Way out of the park. I'm like, damn, too much info.
Right. So even before we get into the OP, I just want to talk about, so we had both written this down as anime that we were excited for in one of our former episodes. I don't remember which season this originally came out in, but last year we talked about it.
Yeah.
And basically what the intro says of the show's description is like Shinpei returns after a long time and something goes awry, right? Like something is not as expected or whatever. It's kind of vague. And so I thought going in that this was like a murder mystery.
Same.
Right? Like I had once we started getting to like episode 3 and beyond, where we start like revealing what's happening with the shadows and doppelgangers and all this shit, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, it's great. I'm enjoying it, but this is not at all what I signed up for, or what I thought I signed up for.
A hard right turn.
Yeah, we did. We did. I was so confused, but not at all upset. I was just like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah. So the description is Shinpei returns home from no. That's
were you looking?
I was looking at the season 1 episode 1 title, but that's the description.
I see.
I want the original, like.
You can go on my anime list.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See if I beat you there.
You will, because I'm not going to be searching for it now. Anyways, I found it. I got it. Details. Shinpei Ajiro, whose childhood friend Ushio Kufunoi dies, returns to the hometown for the first time in 2 years. His best friend, Sue, suspects something is off with Ushio's death, and someone else can die next. I literally thought this was just a murder mystery of some sort.
Yeah.
Or like a serial killer type story.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it was not. It was a supernatural fantasy all the way.
With sci-fi elements, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? So, I'm pleased at the end of it, but very confused, like, once that turn hit around episode, like, 2 or 3.
You know what threw me for a loop? When I got to see Mio's panties, like, 5 times. I'm like, there is a shocking level of horny just intertwined within the story. It's not overwhelming fan service, but it is there.
It is definitely there. I agree though. It's really not like that bad. You know, nobody like. It's really just like a couple of the panty scenes, and then like a couple times he shoves his face into Hisaru's chest.
Everyone
accident.
in the story, there was like this funny thing. The cop, Tetsu, the most useless cop ever. He's like, oh yeah, that's the lady with the H cups. And she just whips around. She's like, they're G cups.
Yeah. Or like the scene where like Shadow Ushi was like, you were so flat before. Can I feel them now? And he's just like, sure.
They're just rolling with it.
Your shoulders must hurt. They do. Yeah, there's a couple, scenes, fan servicey scenes here. I did like that one time in like the first or second playback loop. He was like, "What color is your underwear? What color are you wearing right now?" Because it mattered. It did end up mattering, which was really funny. But most of the time, it's not too bad. It's just, but it is like Wolf said, it is there.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay.
Perfect mimic.
I know, same wavelength. One of the things that we said, I was going to say hinted at, but we downright said it, is that it's basically a Groundhog Day story.
Yeah.
Not a normal story, though, however. Summertime Rendering, there's a weird, or maybe it's not even weird, there's a trick about this one where Shinpei, instead of just restarting the day as normal, Shinpei loops back to a set period in time and has all the memories from the previous loop. His consciousness, his memories, everything is the same. And he's also aware he's looping. It's not just like feeling like deja vu or whatever. He's looping, he figures it out, he knows it, that it's happening, and he retains all the memories. Which I'm pretty sure is pretty new for this style of right?
That's pretty unique. I've watched a lot of time-looping isekai anime, and that's not usually a thing. Usually, like, they treat it, it's because, like, the trope, I'll call it, it's effectively, like, inspired by, like, video games. So you hit a save point, and then that becomes it once you, like, succeed. But no, he's messing up, and he's gonna lose his chance at winning it all.
Right. Yeah, the interesting thing is that he doesn't just loop back to the day like most Groundhog Day stories do. He loops back to, as I said, a save point in time. And the more time he progresses in one loop, the larger distance he creates from the starting point.
Yeah.
And so basically, if he goes like 8 hours into the loop, he'll lose 2 hours the next time, right? Something like that. It's a weird ratio, but or if he goes 24 hours from his previous loop, he'll get like 22 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
The closer he dies from his loop, the less time he has to go back to. So if he only gets an hour in, he's got like 30 minutes from like his previous point. And so at a certain point, things get fixed in time he can't go back to.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I like that we're not just restarting the day over and over again.
Yeah. High stakes.
Right. Well, even higher stakes, the villains, after the third or fourth loop, start realizing they are keeping the memories too.
Oh, yeah. She like marks him after the festival so she can follow him through time.
That's right. And Heine and Shide remember everything now. So not only does he have to figure out what to do in that moment, but he's also got to contend with those two because they have all the information, or most of the information that Shinpei has.
That's an aspect he forgets repeatedly.
He does. Well, until the last one where it really matters.
Yeah.
When they go down to Hiroko's grotto, they spend an extra 2 hours of waiting or whatever.
Yeah. They found a way to hide him inside the baby.
In the baby. Yeah. Anyways, I thought this was a really interesting take on the Groundhog storyline, and I'm glad to hear that it's pretty unique.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is a fun one because it's like, you think it's a murder mystery and then it's not a murder mystery, but it's like, it's still setting up things to be discovered. But of course, you learn them with the characters and they break it down for you real quick. But I never felt like it was never too slow, it was never too hand-holdy with it. And that I guess they dropped their reveals at just the right pace.
Yeah, I called it, in one of the pros, I actually wrote that the pacing of the show is pretty tight. They start up, I think maybe even episode 1, he dies in his first loop, right? Or is that the start of episode 2?
Oh yeah, episode 1 he dies kind of early because they try to go up to the shrine.
Before, yeah, and then, yeah. And so they hit you with sort of a pretty confusing thing there because Mio's the one that kills him.
Yeah.
And then they drop another sort of twist in episode 2 and then another one. And I called it a drip feed style where they're not overloading you on information and they're not, like Wolf said, hand-holding you with it all. But they're also not giving you a twist, waiting 5 episodes and dropping a bomb on you, and then waiting 5 episodes and dropping a bomb on you.
Yeah.
It's a pretty constant update of information, which at first you might think sounds pretty bad, but their pacing and their explanation actually really solid. So it's not overwhelming at all, and it keeps you really engaged.
Yeah.
It was really easy to just watch 4 or 5 episodes because of how fun it was.
It was indeed. I have a conspiracy.
Oh, hit me with it.
So the first opening is nothing.
Right.
Very vague.
Yeah.
I think they animated the second opening first, and that was supposed to be the first opening. But then they looked at it and they were like, well, it's showing too much. But of course you can't animate more. So they turned one of the EDs into the opening. And then for the ED for the second core, because it's the ED for the first core, it's literally just footage of a mountain on a boat.
Yeah.
Not a mountain on the boat.
A mountain on a boat. Interesting though. I didn't think about that. Because you're right, the second OP shows fucking everything.
Truly. I'm like, wow.
It shows who the villains are, it shows that people are alive and who maybe shouldn't be, depending on which episode you watched.
Yeah, it shows you that Heine isn't even necessarily evil.
Yeah, which, really, she really isn't, so.
Truly.
Yeah. Interesting. That's probably true, you're probably right. Because the second OP actually is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a bop. It's well animated.
Yeah, we could probably do another segment in another episode about what you think about that one. Because it's pretty good. I liked it. I watched it more than once.
Oh, I can't believe this.
Which is a big deal for me. Side note, Wolf already knows this, but I've been watching Castlevania. And I'm like, the best thing about the show is that there's no intro to skip.
You menace.
They have a small splash screen and that was it.
Yeah. I bet if they had one, it'd be the shit.
It'd probably be good. I probably wouldn't watch it more than once, though.
Fiend.
Let me tell you something else I really like about this show.
Go ahead.
The main character and supporting characters aren't fucking morons.
They are not.
That Shide, or not Shide, well, yes, Shide, but not him. Shinpei actually uses known information to influence his decision making.
Yeah.
There's so many times, not just in anime, in a lot of like killer movies, like horror movies.
Yeah.
The characters are fucking idiots. And like you're screaming at the screen, move your ass. Why aren't you shooting them? Why aren't you attacking them?
Communicate.
Why aren't you running? Yeah, communicating. Anything. Like they're all morons. Shinpei is different. He's actually calculating. Several times in the anime, he does this thing where he like takes a bird eye view or steps back as he calls it. I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to put the S. Steps back, and he like looks at the whole picture and uses known information. And several times, as the audience, we can't be expected to remember everything that happened or everything that they remember in the previous loops, because that's pretty hard, especially if you're not binging it.
Yeah.
But the clever thing is that because Shinpei is a smart and well-written character, he references important things that happen in previous loops from known information that he just has, which not only is more interesting because he's a good character to root for, you want him to win, it also makes the watching experience better because you get reminded of things that happen in previous loops.
Naturally.
Which is amazing because I would have forgotten many things.
And all the main characters, they are very willing. They have a very, very willing to suspend their disbelief. They're like, Shinpei's explaining to, what's her name again? Hizuru? Like, yeah, I'm a time traveler, basically. She's like, you know what? You are a time traveler. Let's get this bread. Right,
exactly. They question it a few times here and there, but they slowly, or not even slowly, they quickly accept it just because of their known information, right? Like,
yeah.
Why would Hizuru question that Shinpei is a time traveler when you think about that she has a fucking soul inside her body of her brother, right?
That's right.
Who is she to question a time traveler when she's a fucking host to a ghost?
Host to a ghost.
I know, bars. Eminem, it's your birthday. Feel free to use this. Marshall and I go way back.
Oh, naturally.
So yeah, I really like that. They definitely suspend their disbelief in a great way. Not even just like, yeah, okay, I'm going along with this. But they're just like, because of my interactions and how I've been living or whatever. And like Nezu too. He's like, yeah, I, killed fucking shadows before.
Yeah.
Surely a time traveler isn't that much to wrap my head around.
He's got his own shadow wife chilling in his house.
that was a surprise. It was a surprise. Yeah, so I really like this guy. Shinpei was really fun to root for, and he wasn't. There were very few times where I was like screaming at my screen.
Yeah, despite his appearance, he is not a self-insert that you're meant to project onto.
True, not at all. Which is normally the case.
It is, especially.
Yeah.
It's so funny how this like the anime's like look sometimes. It gives the vibe, the marketing feel of like another generic, stupid fan service isekai anime. But then you get into it, it's like it's really deep. It's really well thought out.
It is, yeah. And I think they in part did that so well because of how many like twists and turns they were doing. They kept everything really tight.
Yeah.
One thing I think they did well with this sort of multiple twists is that we call it time traveling, and they reference that in the show, but it's really not time traveling at all. We don't have those like stupid rules about no altering the past, no talking to yourself. You're not ever gonna meet up with a doppelganger that like isn't a shadow. Like ignore the shadow bit for a second, but you're never gonna like have to avoid yourself in like a lot of time traveling things. This is more, Wolf said it earlier on, that it's more of like a save space in a video game.
Yep. It's
or a rewind button. You can think of it like that too.
If you're a weeb, or if you're from Tumblr in the last 8 years, it follows Homestuck's rules of time travel.
I'm not familiar, but it does follow their rules. Which I really think is a really smart way of doing it, because you avoid a lot of the shit questions and problems that happen when you do time travel. Which, for keen listeners of the podcast, know that time travel is stupid and I hate it.
I got into the time travel part. I was like, oh wow, I can't believe Lucas still liked it.
I know, because it's actually smart. It's not time travel. It's just reversing what happened.
Yep.
It's just because and the best part is, like, Shinpei has all the memories.
He does.
So they don't have to avoid anything. They did it in a really good way.
Oh man, what a show! It's like, oh, you want a little fun fact?
I do.
So Shide, main villain.
Yeah.
Of course, that literally, it means like forearm, Shide. But the name, like, Shide on its own also means like gift to God. And that's what he is. He's like this god's like gift, toy, thing.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to... Oh, I don't have his...
It's funny because they did call attention to it like in the show, but they did it with kanji. So no... It doesn't translate in the subs.
His full name is Shidehiko Hishigata.
Yeah.
Interesting. One thing, speaking of main characters, let's talk about them, because they're all great.
They are indeed.
Shinpei, we already talked a bit about him. But a smart, calculating, and relatable main character. You want to root for him. You want him to succeed. He's great.
I do indeed.
Not overbearing, though. Ushio is a charismatic, funny, high-energy female, and is a love interest / best friend / adopted
almost
brother.
Sister.
Almost sister. Which is fine, because they're really not at all, especially in the final loop.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great.
My God.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Hizuru / Ryunosuke, a serious and powerful character with lots of depth and layers to unfold. I'm mostly just summarizing the characters and why they're really good.
Yeah. I thought it was cool that Hizuru and Haine had that connection. Like, basically like the first human outside of Shide she interacted with.
Yeah, it was really nice. It's a little... It's sad when you realize sort of what happened there.
Yeah.
Because at first it was really nice and, like, pretty sweet.
She's just chilling. She was hungry.
Yeah, couldn't control herself, and Shide tempted her.
She did indeed.
Corrupted her. Haine / Hideko, a spooky and mysterious character, part human, part alien, making us, the viewers, understand them but not quite relate to them. Which I thought this was really well done. I really enjoyed they did multiple split personalities type of thing, and I thought both of them, for Hideko and Ryunosuke and Hizuru and Ryunosuke and Haine and Hideko, they were both different but also similar, which is nice considering how they're, like you said, their story is intertwined.
Yeah.
Shide.
What's interesting with
go ahead.
With Haine / Hideko is that she like alters a bit. Like she picks that kid Youre to be like her vessel for her personal reasons, very sweet but sad reasons.
Yeah, indeed.
And then of course Shiore's personality like shows through her on some level. So she's acting rash at times. She's being a little impulsive, not really thinking things through. But then she switches over to being Shinpei, and she gains that like level of like thought process.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really emulating the character, which is the whole point of Shadows.
Yeah.
Which is really fun to see. And also kind of creepy in a good way.
Yeah.
Right? Like at the point where they switch to Shadow Shinpei, that's the point where everything is most dangerous.
Indeed. He does not mess around.
Right, exactly. It was great. Shide, lastly of the five main, a man obsessed with immortality goes to any length acquired to achieve it and what he wants. This is like a pretty classic and overdone trope, I think.
Bro fucked an alien that looked like his daughter.
And many times. Many times, just to achieve immortality. And then once he's like, nah, I can't be immortal anymore, better wipe out the human race.
Right.
I want to be there when everyone else is dead.
Oh, well, if you guys aren't going to do it soon, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, incredible. Then we have sort of the 4 to 5 minor characters, I would say. I guess Mio's kind of a main, but she doesn't really do much.
She got ridiculously sidelined for someone who's in the opening.
You were so excited about her, too.
I was.
You want to?
And they did nothing with her.
You want to read these next
and
ones,
I feel like, yeah, sure. Mio, she's Ushio's sister, like technically like stepsister, different moms. They raised together like fully whole life, and she has a crush on Shinpei. Just because of their like proximity, small island, there was like a love quadrangle happening between these like four sidekicks.
Pentagonal love.
Yeah. But she and then her. I feel like there was something there because her shadow is nothing like her. It just has her appearance and it has like some of her core personality traits, but otherwise,
it was so weird. Like, why was Mio the only one that had like a broken shadow?
Yeah, they're calling Ushio's shadow broken. Nah,
everybody else acted like their character. I did not understand why Mio was the only one.
And she would have been like, they explained it, she would have been like a first generation shadow. She came directly from Rainie.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe that's why, I guess.
Maybe.
Weird.
Too new. Too fresh.
One of my very few questions about the show is what happened to Mio's fucking shadow?
And then like she's fairly strong, and like she doesn't even do that much fighting.
No,
she's standing there a lot of the time.
Does a bit of fighting at the end, but yeah, not as much as she could have.
Ridiculous.
She's kind of just a pawn there.
But at least she's madly in love with Tokiko in the final loop.
Oh?
Must be, because she doesn't have the hots for Shinpei anymore.
Well, I know. I just assumed that she finally accepted So's, like...
Nah. If he's been asking for like 2 years and she said no both those times.
Right, but then she finally says, what do you like about me, So? Now she's interested.
Nah, she's just curious, because Tokiko's watching from behind a tree.
Yeah, but Tokiko's a freak.
And she's Mio's freak.
Right, but Tokiko is watching because not only is it Tokiko's best friend, but also her brother.
No.
So of course she's watching. Yes.
It's not just Tokiko loves Mio. That's why she lets Shadow Mio copy her. It was her way of confessing.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
But nah, Mio get together with So.
Nah, he doesn't respect her.
What is Mio has no feelings other than friendship for Tokiko. She even says that she's like, "Why are you saying all this, Tokiko?" When Tokiko starts
and the
flirting
other
with her.
loops.
No, yeah. Why would it change?
Because the reason she's not interested in either So or Tokiko in the other 9 loops is because she has the hots for Shinpei.
Right.
So to take her love for Shinpei out the equation, between So and Tokiko, she's clearly closer to Tokiko.
Because they're best friends. She has no reason. She has no love interest in Tokiko.
Oh yeah, they're definitely feeding each other cotton candy in a very friendly friendship way.
Yeah, So and Mio are. They're feeding each other. They got together. You're
wrong
idiot.
and blind to the truth.
Just read the next couple. You're wrong.
Nezu, lovable old man, he saved Hizuru from the shadows that attacked her after Rainie blasted her eye out her face.
Yeah, I was sad that did we see Nezu in the final sequence?
There's like a brief shot of him. He's like going with Ushio to go clean up the beach.
Oh, okay. So, right, okay. So, he's alive, obviously.
Yeah, and his wife's alive.
Right. I wish we saw more of an ending for him.
Yeah.
Because I liked him. I mean, it's enough to know that he's alive, but I wanted to be happy for him. And then Tokiko, the woman of the hour.
Woman of the hour. She was blessed with the worst information ever.
That's right.
Held it down, and then when evolved to the truth, she had 2 like babies under her control, and she was a pretty helpful. It just be a pretty helpful character.
Pretty integral character, to be honest. Not only had the 2 strong ass babies, but also were able to hide Shinpei.
Yeah.
Inside them, which is fucking weird, but yeah. Those are all the characters. All the important ones, at least.
Yeah.
And they're great, all of them. It's actually pretty impressive how they basically got 11 different characters to all have meaningful and well-written stories that you cared about each of them.
Yeah. It was nice. Even Tetsu, the world's most useless cop.
Yeah, I did. He's not on the list, but he is funny. He's comedic relief.
He's got some good lines.
He does. Him and So, I wish they used So a little bit more, but they both were good comedic relief. So
yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What was the most shocking twist that they hit you with?
The most shocking twist.
Or one of it. Doesn't have to be the most. One of the ones that surprised you the most.
Let me think. What was it? Before I get to the most shocking one, the most funniest one that stuck with me the most, apparently, is when they called Ushio the egg. I'm like, you're the egg! I'm like, okay!
That was so good because they never mentioned it before. Nobody.
Yeah,
like,
I had to like
you're
think
the
about
egg.
it. And be like, what did that even mean? I'm like, oh, it's because I think like an episode previously, Heine was like, it's like the chicken and the egg question.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
that's what they mean. The egg.
And they end that episode there too with like that line. It's like, you're the egg. End scene.
Like, oh, okay.
I guess. Yeah.
The fight scene with I guess like pretty much almost the last fight scene between Hizuru and Shide. That one was really cool, really well animated. She wields that sledgehammer like it's paper.
True. Her arms are fucking yoked.
Oh, absolutely.
What was the twist there though that surprised you?
Oh no, I guess I got sidetracked. That was just a cool
just
fight.
a scene. Just a good scene. It was a great scene, to be fair.
I didn't expect Ushio to like die. That caught me off. I was like, oh.
What do you mean? She starts the show dead.
No, Shadow Ushio.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm like, what?
Because they're like doing pretty well in that loop. And then like the guy like riles her up. He's real good at doing that. My goodness.
Freak. Yeah.
She slays him, and then she gets slayed back.
True, by a copy of himself.
Yeah.
A host, a shell, or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Funny because one of my most surprising twists that caught me off guard was the fact that he was Shide.
Oh.
It's just like, I'm just like, they showed him a couple times here and there. I'm like, okay, this guy's like a monk or a priest or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, it was me, Dio, the whole time.
I didn't even think
and
about it.
And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, that guy, I guess.
Yeah. I'm like, I know who you are, but how are you, the evil guy?
Right.
Really surprising.
Oh, another cool twist at the end. That Hiriko, like the baby fetus thing that's left.
Yeah.
Wanted to end the loop, and there's the implication that she's probably hit that spot before, and either whoever was with her or even Shida himself restarted the loop back, sending them without and basically making her go through it again without changing the timeline.
Well, because
at some point, one, her hair turns white and she gets red eyes, but also she becomes that smaller form.
Yeah. Interesting.
They never go over what happened, but something did happen.
Well, because Ushio becomes merges with Heine. Like in the end. That. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
So why would she ended up after she merged with Heine, just sent to Shinpei to a timeline where none of it happened.
Yeah. No, she went into time itself and rewrote it. She pulled a Madoka Magica.
Is that what I thought she just sent him to? I mean, I know I just figured she sent him to a timeline where none of it happened. And none of the shadows were. Because the whole time they're saying that his looping ability is going to a new timeline.
Yeah.
And not just rewinding his current one.
The eye, her eye, their eye, the special eye.
Yeah.
They say it while they're in that special realm. It has the ability to rewrite time if you know how to tap into the ability. Yeah. So Ushio could. So when they were in that final flashback, they actually did go back in time and change the past.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
But before that, before she rewrote time, it's when did that kick in? Because at some point, what's her face, Heine or Hiriko was adult shaped, but then she lost that at some point.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which means something attacked her because it looks like every time someone gives her a critical wound, she gets younger.
Well, I was reading this summaries of stuff, and something happened in World War II.
Oh.
That weakened her. What?
Oh, I guess maybe it was just her being a casualty of the war. The bombs got her or something.
Right. It's something like that, and that weakened her, and that was the reason they really had to start thinking about what their plans were and couldn't continue just to make new forms for Shide.
I see. Okay.
She made like one more after that, and that was his like final one.
Yeah.
And then Shide and Aine are like, okay, now what the fuck are we gonna do? So that was the reason.
Okay.
But yeah,
Gotcha.
a lot to cover, audience.
I know, right? Dense show.
Yeah. So overall, you actually said in one of our texts like, wow, what a show, or what an anime or something.
Yeah.
How does this rank among, or just generally, what was your final thoughts?
I think I give it like a solid 9 or 10. Like in any other case, I think it'd be kind of cheesy to like, now the happiest ending pretty much. But I'm like, you know what? Not only did they earn it, but I was so caught off guard by how happy the ending was. I was like, you know what? They can have it.
Yeah, normally I would be kind of annoyed that essentially all the things I just watched didn't matter, but it really did. And like you said, they earned it.
Yeah.
Not only, and one really important thing was that none of the outcomes were bullshit. Like, and what I mean by that is it wasn't won by the power of friendship.
It wasn't. Bro was on his last legs. Oh my God.
Literally last leg. And it wasn't won by like, like crying and then I go to my final form or whatever and I evolve, like I'll do all this bullshit stuff. There's no like random bullshit. Everybody earned it and they earned the final happy scene. So I really appreciate that. And like you said, the final scene was really good.
Yeah.
Or like the whatever, maybe it's not final scene, but like the outcome.
I'm like, oh, cool. All the main characters lived. And then it keeps going. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone lived.
Yeah. And the Ryunosuke's kid gets to be named Heine.
Yeah, it probably is Heine. She said something about reincarnating.
Yeah. And so that was really cool. And, we see Shiori again at the ice cream stand.
We do indeed.
And we also don't get like the love interest of Shinpei and Ushio shoved down our throats. Which is really nice. Like it's obviously that it's gonna go there eventually, but we don't need to see that because we just know.
Yeah, we skipped the falling in love part because they've already fallen in love. That's why.
Right, they were already in love before all of this happened.
Yeah.
So we don't need to see that. We don't need to. I was also really happy that they never kissed.
Oh yeah. She was just owed an apology.
Right, we don't need to see that. Buy her some fucking food. Tell her you're sorry.
Found her a necklace. Her seashell.
What is takoyaki or whatever she bought him?
Oh, it's like it's octopus balls. It's octopus meat formed into balls.
Good clarification. Important. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, you rating it what, a 9 or a 10?
I think I'll give it a solid 10. Like there's no loose ends. Well, 9 because I'm a bit mad about Mio doing nothing.
Right.
Even Shadow Mio.
So much. Oh, Shadow Mio.
Listen, you don't give someone that much presence and then do nothing. It's like a Sakura issue.
Okay. I see it now. It's not so much that it's the character, it's just that it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair criticism, I think. I say 9. I really liked it, and I finished it, a week and a half ago, or maybe a little bit less than that, but I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good signifier of a good show.
Indeed.
Definitely check it out. How, you said it was well received in the community, like how well received? Is it like really favorited like us?
It's well received in the way Mob Psycho was, and like it was really well liked, and everyone who watched it likes it and recommended it. But I guess because of the way it got distributed, not a whole lot of people got to watch it.
Yeah, its distribution was pretty shite. I agree. Pretty bad, and in fact, it was like mostly excluded to like where it came out, and then it was on Disney Plus for a little bit, but only in the region that it was already released in. So it being on Disney Plus was just a fucking tease.
Yeah. I don't even think it made it into the anime awards because of that.
Yeah, which is a shame because it's really good.
It was.
Really, really good. Anyways, that's anything else before we wrap this up? Or wrap this segment up?
That was solid. If you haven't watched Summertime Rendering, go watch it. real glad it's like 24 episode run, so there's no what if about what's coming next. You get to see the whole thing.
I also, as much as I liked it, don't need to see any more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy it ended where it ended. Like, it told its story. Right. It's great.
Like, maybe Mio's stuff got cut for time, because they did start getting into her, like, in the last couple episodes, but there were other things to worry about.
It was kind of weird how Mio's shadow just like, yeah, you fucking hate yourself, don't you?
I'm like, God, okay.
Like,
are we going to talk about that?
Fatality after fatality against Mio. Absolutely brutal, but...
Oh, but you know. I think Loop 10, Mio, still kind of hates herself and loosely resents Ushio. There's like that brief scene where they're like, she like walks into the whatever, their store.
Yeah.
And then Ushio comes out and she looks annoyed as fuck.
I don't think it's like that much resentment though. It's not
less resentment than in the normal loops.
Right, in the first loop, because there's no overbearingness of like fighting over Shinpei.
Yeah.
So not nearly as much. It's probably maybe not even there. It's probably just two sisters being annoyed at each other.
Nah, just her.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, it's just a sister sibling be annoyed at the other one.
Yeah,
I don't even think
before
in the final loop there's that much resentment.
In the shadow, but even before all the shadow nonsense, her insecurities stem from before the shadow nonsense, because she got bad grades, Ushio got good grades. The good sister and the bad sister.
Right.
The pretty sister and the average sister.
Right. The one that everyone likes, and then the other one, everyone tolerates because it's the sister that they like.
The stepchild. I think not Ushio, Mio would be the stepchild.
Yeah, she would be. But I liked at the ending how everything worked out.
Yeah. Made me real happy.
Yeah, it was good. It was very satisfying. All right. That's enough of Summertime Rendering. It was great. Go check it out. Find it on. It's also available not only on, I think it's available on Crunchyroll, but we watched it on Hulu.
I did indeed.
So it's available there if you have Hulu already. So go watch it.
Shout out to Hulu funding these like deep, like big projects.
Yeah. Really good. Fuck you, Netflix.
I know, right?
Wasting your money on stuff you're never going to renew a second season on.
Fucking live action One Piece.
That one's good.
Listen, it's the principle.
It is. You're right. I agree with you there.
It is good, but it's the principle.
I agree. All right. We have a question of the week from Rain to wrap up this episode. Wolf, what is it? Hit us with it.
This week's question of the week is, if you both had to choose a new name for the other person and they had to accept it, what would you pick?
Okay, this is a great question. Thank you, Rain.
It is indeed.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So, instead of Wolfie, what would I call you? And I have a great answer.
Okay.
You're going to love it.
Okay.
Lyle.
Lyle?
Yeah, Lyle.
It's the opposite of everything I stand for and represent.
It's so good, though. You'll love it.
Lyle's the name you call a cat. A feline. You come in here and insult me.
Lyle's the name of some, like, old man at a bar half dying.
Lyle. Do people even name their kids Lyle anymore?
Well, there's you.
I'll be the last one.
The legacy of the Lyles.
Oh, it dies with me.
You have a heavy burden carrying the Lyle name.
I'd probably name you Gargon.
What?
It feels right.
Gargon?
Gargon Townsend.
I could rock with it. Lyle and Gargon. What a duo we are.
Our alternate universe selves.
What would Rain's name be?
I think I'd name her Milk Toast. But it's spelled like funny with a Q.
And a Y instead of an I.
Yeah.
Milk Toast.
Milk Toast.
Wait, where's the Q? Oh, instead of a K?
Yeah.
Milk.
Milk.
MYLQUE. Milk.
And then TOST.
Milk. If you ever get another pet instead of Cusable, you should name it Milk. And
Milk.
name it just
Milk Incusable.
Milk Incusable. What was Gorgon?
Yeah, Gorgon.
I'll take it. Better than Lyle.
I know, right?
All right, Wolf. Lyle, take it away.
I'm Lyle, taking things away. Thank you for watching episode 94 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo!
If you liked all that, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons and hit the bell so you get notified of the next episode. If you're watching on a podcast website, be sure to hit the bell and give us 5 stars to support the show. You can follow us across the internet, the main cast at ridiculous_cast on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Lucas at 7AngryWasps with an E. You can follow me at Rainbow Does without the W. We hope to see you guys all again next week. Until then, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.